Hello everybody, Pinstripe here. Welcome back to week 5 of the Hogs of War League. We're here with Herpderp versus Iron Fox. Iron Fox today playing as the Sauerkrauts, and because Herpderp would normally play as the Sauerkrauts, he has to change his team, so he will be the Uncle Ham's Hogs today. And as you can see, Iron Fox going for a Paratrooper, Sapper, Grenadier, Scout, and I'm guessing a Medic. Now this first map is going to be one-way system, then we have P-Drag, and if it comes to a final game, it will be on Skullduggery, which, as you may remember, was my first game against Herpderp, so he has already played on Skullduggery, so it'll be interesting to see if we do go to a third game. But Herpderp looking to go for a Grenadier, then a Sapper, a Paratrooper, a Medic in 4th place, and finally what seems to be another Sapper. Now the interesting thing about this match, of course, is that if Iron Fox is to win, I believe he will go second in the table. If Herpderp wins, I'm not entirely sure if he moves, but he might gain himself a lead in terms of points. But both of these players should be raring to go in this game. Iron Fox coming off the back of that defeat to Caster, and Herpderp looking to continue his winning streak, hopefully. So it's all to play for in this one. We've seen that both of these players are well and truly capable in their own abilities, but one-way system can be a tough one, and it will be Iron Fox to go first. So I apologise if there's no game audio or a lack of it. I'm not hosting today, but hopefully there'll be some audio. But immediately Iron Fox goes for the centre to pick up the guided missiles, which will do him some good. He did mention he hasn't practiced on P-Drag, which, as I said, is the second round map. But immediately pulling out the guide missile, and he goes for the Grenadier. 75 damage immediately, so very strong first turn. Grenadier down to 45 health, and Herpderp has some work to do to catch up on the damage that was just dealt to him. So he's got the Sapper on the far side. There's the Paratrooper that just shot the guided missile, but he needs to be clean and precise with this cluster bomb. Bounces off the head though and doesn't quite detonate it at the right time. Only 19 damage. It comes back to the Sapper. And he will get the first kill immediately on the Grenadier. So the Grenadier goes down. He is a goner, and it's immediately 4v3. So I have sorted the audio issue. That was my fault. I had Parsec muted. So we should have game audio now, which will be nice. And it is back. Basically, Herpderp looking to get him back for the previous kill. And he could get a ton of damage here in combination with the TNT. Plants it in the right place. But how much damage are we talking on Lederhost, the Grenadier? Both players going for the most powerful class in multiplayer. And he will go down to 46 health. But he will get a turn. So again, high damage could be coming here. He will pick up the TNT, but I doubt he'll be using that anytime soon. Choices, choices. Cluster bomb, high explosive grenade. And that's a good shot there by Iron Fox. Tons of damage. But the Sapper does in fact live, and it's back to the Paratrooper. So of course everyone's staying far, far away from the high explosive barrels. They do have a solid radius. Herpderp slipping there just a little bit. Might be having some possible latency issues. We did do some testing beforehand and things seemed pretty smooth, so hopefully it stays as it is. But drops the shot there. Whoa, what in the world even happened? Iron Fox's orderly immediately explodes. I don't think I've really ever seen that. I haven't played this map in a long time. And you saw there Herpderp dropping the bazooka shot kind of short. So I expected him to swim backwards, but instead the game was like, nah, he's out there. He's just going to immediately explode. Oh, and he poisons himself. Iron Fox misthrows it, bounces back off the pig, off the sapper. And, well, Herpderp's going to cancel that, and unfortunately Iron Fox losing his orderly as well. Won't be able to heal the scout who just poisoned himself. And suddenly the scales are slipping in the other direction. Herpderp taking some quick damage on his grenadier, losing his grenadier early on. And now all of a sudden things aren't looking so bright for Iron Fox, but don't rule him out. Things should be good. He's taking enough time to think about his next move, plan ahead. He does still have the guide missiles, which, well, could get another kill here on the sapper, but looking elsewhere possibly. Herpderp still with full health pigs across most of the map. And he changes direction, probably looking for the sapper. Maybe not. There is a long timer on the guide missile, so he does have plenty of time. On the orderly, 74 damage. So over half of his health taken down. And you can really see where that bizarre kill came in handy for Herpderp, because, well, if Iron Fox had his orderly, things would be a lot different. But he still very much has a foot in this game and is going for the dangerous paratrooper that just launched the guided missile. Needs to get rid of him because he does still have one left, so he'll look to nudge him in the water. Only 3 seconds remaining, but that's going to go in the wrong direction. Doesn't want to damage himself either, but that will blast him. Might blast him towards the same spot as the medic, but not quite. Not enough, and he does damage himself. 13 damage, but does gain an extra turn. So that's certainly something I wasn't expecting from one-way system. We've seen it previously where pigs will, if you get knocked into the water on the far side, they will end up swimming just the long way round. Hope that they're backing up just enough. Gets the kill on the grenadier. It's now 4v3. And boy, oh boy, this one is hotting up to be something for sure. Because it's back to the scout, who of course poisoned himself. In the long run, that's not going to do him any kind of good. Looking at the orderly on 66. Could get the poison, but again, will that do him any good in the long run? We will see. So walking along the boundary of the map, and of course goes for the poison. Needs to be careful. Doesn't want to hit his own pig again. Gets it just about, so that orderly will be down to 51 health now. So he does have a few turns still left. It's whether or not Iron Fox will deal some damage later on to whittle that health down. Most likely, I mean, if you can get a TNT on there, the orderly could go down to 1 health, gain himself an extra turn. We will see. But Herpderp, using the jetpack damage, can't quite go for the pig again, but I think he will anyway, regardless of his own sapper. And he does get multiple bits of damage on his own pigs and himself. But the paratrooper now down to 26 health. So all kinds of mathematics going on. Keeping in mind the damage outputs, how much health pigs have left, all kinds of stuff. And Iron Fox is going to look to reduce the health of the sapper to at least below 100. And maybe go for a body block, we will see. So last but not least, of course, has to go for the guide missile. Spins it around. And demolishes the sapper there. 72 damage and gets the kill as well. So it's now 3v3. And questions for Herpderp. Who does he go for? Who does he trank? And yeah, it has to be the sapper. Gain himself an extra turn immediately. And, you know, deals some form of damage. That's all that's really needed. But he could get the kill here on the paratrooper. Get rid of him. Then he still has 2 pigs on this far side that have enough health. Going for the shotgun. So not relying too much on the grenade launcher. Doesn't quite get it all though. Only 15 damage. And that might cost him. Because, well, all Iron Fox has to do here is shoot the orderly with his sniper rifle to gain an extra turn. Which of course will be his plan. So no more tranks there, but he will get a little bit of damage on his own pig when the orderly takes his turn. But I think, yes, he will get the kill here. And I'm guessing he'll be looking to damage the sapper to kill his own orderly. Because the last thing, whoops, and gets the 1 damage as well. The last thing that Herpderp is going to want is to lose another turn. So it doesn't matter if he kills his own pig, just enough. And the extra damage from that as well. Plenty to talk about there. Some good moves from Herpderp. But it's still neck and neck. The sapper here could knock the paratrooper down into the water, but he's going for some great parkour moves there. And suddenly they're face to face, and he's going for the TNT. Paratrooper on 90 or so health. So it's going to take a little bit of luck. But that might be enough to get the kill. I think so. The paratrooper is a goner. There's no way he can make it back from that one. So it's 2v1 now. Where does Herpderp go from here? His pig does have 100 or so health. Needs a stroke of luck from somewhere. And of course needs to stay out of the sightlines of the sapper. There is a way to run up that if you are quick enough. And he does indeed. Makes the jump, but slides down as well. That's going to cost him some time. But I think he might be going for the TNT as well. Which means that it will be 1v1. Sapper versus Scout. But the Scout will have a sightline as the Sapper is standing in an open area. They are very close together. And down goes Iron Fox's Sapper. So, it's a very close one. He is poisoned. And he will go for the poison. Interesting play here. But whether or not it will pay off in the long run, as Herpderp does still have a TNT. Oh, and that's going to land a little bit short, and it bounces across and around. Doesn't get the poison. And Herpderp needs to take full advantage here. Bides his time, needs to knock him towards the water. I'm very surprised at Iron Fox for not capitalizing on that move there. He could have just shot him, reduced his health down to at least what are words, to at least 70 or 60 health or so. But he is going to pay the price and potentially fall in the water here. 48 damage, bounces off, and that could potentially be a kill. Just makes it back, but unfortunately he is down to 8 health now after losing 10. And he did have TNTs as well, so he could have ran to the sapper and knocked him in the water. But could he knock him off the map here? I mean, that could have enough knockback, but he's kind of clutching at straws here. Needs to get the angle right to try and knock him in the water, but I don't think it will be enough. And, well, he's looking to kill himself as well. So the extra damage again could kill Bobby Joe. You never know. As he falls in. And he will take even more damage here. Iron Fox kills his pig. Does he fall in the water? No! 45 health. And that was a crazy round on one-way system. Herpderp victorious, just about. And well, as we go into round 2, I'm going to move to P-Drag. I need 5 minutes because that was certainly something. So welcome back after that thrilling first round on one-way system. We move to the unused map known as P-Drag. We haven't actually seen it so far in week 5. When it was introduced back in week 3, it was everywhere. Everyone was playing it. But maps are decided by a random spinning wheel. So it's completely random as to who plays on what map. And this is the first time that Herpderp will be playing this map. So will that inexperience of the map and its layout and what to expect be a weakness for Herpderp? We will see, but he's going to change his lineup to a Medic, Grenadier, Sapper. Needs to change the other orderly, as obviously you can't have 2. Switches it to a Sapper. And he's going for the 2 Sappers. So some heavy hitters, no heavy weapons. But we are raring to go for round 2. So after winning the previous round, Herpderp goes first, so he automatically has the advantage here. But what will he do? Like I said, he hasn't played this map, doesn't know what to expect, but immediately goes for the health crate. And I believe he knows that everything is walkable, so having that knowledge at least is pretty vital. And he's going to steal Iron Fox's tank and, well, going to go for the air burst immediately probably because of its incredible damage. And look who it is, Mr. Grenadier. 34 plus just a little bit more. Yeah, 16 there. So a good 50 damage in total to start things off. It seems Iron Fox is going to do the exact same thing. However, if you look at Herpderp's pigs in the corner just behind him, they are positioned fairly close together. So whether or not Iron Fox will use that, yeah, it's like he can hear me. Thankfully he can't, by the way. But he's going to close the gap and look to get some double damage on both of them, both the paratrooper and the sapper, and does exactly that. Breaks down his fortifications, but it's back to the Grenadier, who will pick up the health crate. Iron Fox did not go for the health, and that will benefit the Grenadier with his low 120. And he's going to go for the scout, I think. Scout or the sapper? Goes for the scout, rolls it across the ground, playing it safe. And that is the shot he was looking for in the previous game. But he should be safe. I haven't seen any weird explosions on this map. You can run up there if you want to. It is walkable, like I said. But that will knock his health down dramatically. And at the moment, it feels like it's advantage to Herpderp. So Iron Fox closing the distance. Looking to deal some damage on the sapper. Or potentially body block here. Nope, just going to steal his fortifications. Ooh, luckily gets the throw away. Sometimes that can mess up the throw. Weird collision with things behind you can kind of make the projectile just go in a different direction. Herpderp going for the immediate jetpack damage, and I think he could potentially finish it off with a machine gun shot, but we'll see. Goes for the bazooka instead, looks for Herman the sapper, who is still on full health. And that should be good for some kind of damage, 25. So the scout down to 49 health after that cluster bomb shot here. But what does Iron Fox do? He could play the long game, go for poison. Paratroopers down to 94. If he was a sapper, it would be pretty cool. Pretty handy, as he could use the TNT to knock the pigs into the vegetable patch. also known as the minefield. But he could get a double here, as the surface on this map is very flat, so that will roll all the way to the sapper. And he gets the double poison. So good play there. Herpderp moving away from the Grenadier. Kind of needs to, given how scary they can be at close range. But he needs to keep an eye on said Grenadier. They can be very dangerous, especially to the later stages of the game. If you have a Grenadier that's still alive, it is a major disadvantage given their crazy damage output. But he's going to instead get the kill on the scout, remove his poison ability from this match. So no more poisons from that scout. Does damage his own pig, 22 in total, but gets the kill on the scout into the mines. So 4v3, wrong way round, 5v4. Not quite there yet. But both players still have a tank, and of course inside said tank is still pigs that have full health. Remember, Iron Fox didn't pick up any health crates, but he could potentially get a kill here should the wind be favourable and the TNT blast in the correct direction. Does he get further enough away though? Doesn't want to damage himself. I think he's good. And the sapper lives in the minefield, doesn't blow up in the vegetable patch. So unfortunate there for Iron Fox. Herpderp gets away with it. And boy, oh boy, what does he do here? Because he could take down the tank in one shot here. Just needs to get it just right. He is using this for cover, doesn't want to damage himself any more than he already has. Ooh, that shrapnel piece almost detonating a mine near his own sapper, but doesn't get the destruction on the tank. And again, TNT is coming out onto the Grenadier, who has 130 health. But that might be a little bit too close. Might actually blast him over the minefields, but we will see. Will he get lucky? I think it might be a little bit too much. I could be wrong. No, gets one at least. So 70 damage there. Grenadier down to 60. And again, it's all to play for on this one. I think Herpderp will be looking to maintain his tank. Still has full health of 80. So needs to use that armor where necessary. But will deal full damage onto the sapper, so he's down to 85. And this tank now has 14 health. But a key strategy that you can use with tanks that have low health is that if you park them near an enemy pig and then blow up said tank with additional explosives, it can be a godsend. He immediately destroys the extra bit of fortifications, which does cost him some time, but he is an orderly. So he will get the extra explosion, but how much damage will this come to? Ooh, 67. That'll be very, very costly. And down come the high explosive grenades, which ironically does not fall to the Grenadier, as he already has them. Iron Fox taking down his own tank, sacrificing it for some extra damage. And again, it is still too close to tell, but he could get a kill on the other Grenadier. Goes for basically no power at all. Oh, and again, just doesn't detonate it at the right time. And that could again be very, very costly for Herpderp. And potentially, well, most likely going to be a kill here for Iron Fox. So long as he can get this on target with the high explosive grenade. Does a maximum of 60 damage. Again, not positioning himself too close to the wall. And that should, like I said, be a kill. So Herpderp not utilizing his time there too well in detonating the cluster bomb, which has cost him twice now both in round 1 and here on P-Drag in round 2. But he will go for the high explosive grenades as he has a chance. Still nobody really wanting to use the medical tents, but he does only have one of them. So again, maybe looking to finish off what he started. Trying to take down... Wait, where is he shooting? Bearing in mind that I could have the bounce. I will be quiet because that was a good shot. I didn't think it would roll up the top, but it did. So full damage coming there, and Iron Fox still needs to take down the sapper, which will cost him a turn in doing so. So not really doing as much damage as he would want to, but he will get another kill here, so long as he can make contact. And he does just about 15. So the other sapper goes down. And it's a tough one here for Herpderp. But he will nudge the orderly's health down to at least 30. And kill his own pig to avoid losing a turn. I mean, he could have jumped himself over the top of the orderly to deal more damage, you know, have his pig die and explode, but nevertheless, he avoids any kind of losing his turn. But look at this, Iron Fox still with a sapper on full health. He does still have a grenadier that is alive, and so it's not looking too good so far for Herpderp. So with this TNT, he's looking to, I'm guessing, not kill him. He just wants to nudge his health down by at least 40 or so. But I think that might be a little bit too much. I could be wrong. Should be good. Oh no, exactly 47. So doesn't gain himself another turn. And it's all down to Herpderp in his lone little tank. He has his work cut out for him. But he does have some targets that he could go for. Especially if he decides to body block with the tank. Could do him some good in the long run, but if he kills the grenadier, then whose turn will it be? Oh, the orderly, sorry, my bad. Ooh, just about getting it, 33, so the orderly is down. It is 3v1 now. And all to play for on both sides, as the grenadier's on 40. The sapper, not sure how much health he has, but again, Herpderp could use that strategy of blowing up his own tank for his own benefit. But Iron Fox looking to use the medical tent, and well, oh boy, where does Herpderp go from here? Because he needs to get a full damage shot with the bazooka in order to destroy the tent in one hit. But, I mean, he doesn't have to destroy it just yet, because it won't be until the grenadier has his turn next. Doesn't matter anyway, what I was explaining, because he destroys in one hit anyway. So everybody's together. The sapper is on 85 health. And this could potentially be a kill here. If it's not, if it doesn't explode, and Herpderp might be looking to jump out and do some destruction, which, I don't know, it's a tough one. 42 health. Where does he go from here? Going to body block the grenadier. Gets the damage on the sapper. So grenadier's down to 2, the tank's down to 23, and it's the sapper's turn. So if he wants to destroy the tank, he will have to sacrifice his own grenadier in doing so. But that is a choice he has to make. He doesn't want to position his sappers too close together, but do bear in mind that Herpderp does still have a full health pig inside the tank. But regardless, the Grenadier is down. The Orderly is here. Oh, but look at that in destroying the other tank. High explosive grenades drop down. And Herpderp is still very much in the fight on 110 health. What can he do from here? I mean, he needs to look at using his tranquilizers, at least all of them, on both of these pigs. He'll be looking to go back and forth. But it's still going to be a mighty task when you're facing two classes that are very, very good at close range. But yeah, it's going to be a constant 1, 2, 3. 3 up, 3 down. Tranquilizers, 20 damage here, there, and everywhere. Gain himself extra turns. But the question is, what does he do after this final tranquilizer shot? Decisions, decisions. I mean, he will at least get 1 kill, I think. At the very least. And then from here, does he remain in the same spot so as to body block the sapper? No, I think he's going to decide to run away. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, he's going to get the health down of the other sappos on 77, so he'll be down to 17. So again, everything to play for here. The other sapper was on 45, which could be an instant kill with the rifle burst. But there is a minefield over there. And like I said, the sapper's very dangerous with their TNTs at close range. So despite Herpderp's work, will it all be for nothing if he lands in the mines? 61, no, just dropped short. And he will get some form of kill here. I think he needs to go for the pig that has 45 health, because he, I believe, still has TNTs. I mean, there's just so many different strategies you can use here, but it's it's really coming down to the wire. As he gets his shot, that will be a kill. So again, it is 1v1. And if you think about all the damage that a sapper can do, Iron Fox just needs to maybe rely on the shrapnel grenades, because they can do the most damage. He does still have TNTs, he will go for it, and I think it will come down to Herpderp's rifle burst to potentially get the kill, but there is the minefield over there, so will that be enough? Will it be enough? And interestingly, Iron Fox positioned himself on the side of the ledge, which will be a tricky one to get the full 45 damage without killing yourself as well. Oh. Ay, ay, ay. What are we going to see here? So I think Herpderp's going to position himself just far away enough so that he can get this shot away without killing himself. But it depends how Iron Fox's pig moves. No, he falls down. And Iron Fox, the skin of his teeth, will take this second round on P-Drag. It came down to the last pigs again, which means that we are going to go to a final round on Skullduggery. And he almost drops next to the pig, but far enough away. And unlucky there for Herpderp, but it is 1-1. Round 3 is coming up soon. So welcome back to the third and final round here. Going to move on to Skullduggery. Iron Fox going for a Scout, Sapper, Grenadier, and a Medic. No heavy hitters, which could be dangerous, given that Skullduggery is a little bit kooky when it comes to spawn locations. But Herpderp, of course, having a little bit more experience on this map. Already played it so far in the league in match 1 against me. So he will be going for a heavy weapons in there. Grenadier, Sapper, Medic, A paratrooper, of course, needs that mobility. So here we go, round 3. Whoever goes first goes first. It is, of course, random in round 3. And it is all to play for. These 3 points have come down to round 3. It's certainly something I wasn't expecting. Both matches incredibly close so far. So will we have a crazy finish to this match? It will be Iron Fox to go first. And he's going heavy on the scouts, on the poison gas. But he will potentially take some damage if he decides to close the gap. Because you basically have to swim to get to each area. He weighs up his decisions and remains in the same place, probably looking to get the double with the poison gas, looking to line it up. And he does indeed. That could be a double. Gets the 1, gets the 2. And just like the previous game, the double poison coming into play here. Herpderp will immediately be looking at the Grenadier, looking to get rid of him as soon as possible. Because the weakness that lies in Iron Fox's lineup is his lack of heavy hitters, and the Grenadier immediately swims forward down to 19 health. So that will be a hard hit for Herpderp. Get some big damage. But Iron Fox is looking to play the long game. Could he look for another double here? Could be looking to angle it up. If he can get the double, if he can get 4 pigs poisoned, and Herpderp will have his work cut out for him in the long run. Because it seems that Iron Fox is playing the long game. Bearing in mind his lineup, like I said. That's going to fly past. Ooh, I don't think he got anybody on that one. I think it just missed the sapper. Was a little bit too much power. And it bounces ever so slightly. And misses the target. So he's going to ignore the scout and immediately go for, well, the other scout. Sorry, that's the sapper. I don't even know anymore. And I mean, either way, whatever he does here, the sapper will take water damage. But it's just dependent on which way he decides to swim. And he will go back to the other island, which again, like I said, means that he will have to swim again if he wants to deal damage, which... questioning. A little bit of hesitation there. Ooh, trying to get the jump, just about. But he's now down to 68 health. And I think Herpderp has learned a lot of mistakes from that first game on Skullduggery 4 weeks ago. But Iron Fox ignores the sapper, goes for the Grenadier. And he should potentially be safe here. Yeah, just about. Just right next to the island. And the gunner will be looking to knock him in the water. Yeah, to the left. That's a good spot. Whoopsie daisy. Looks to angle it down. Herpderp is, of course, a keyboard user, which is a little bit weird to me, but it works for him. You can play the game however you want to. But that is a beautiful shot here, as the scout falls in the middle of the water, so plenty of damage immediately. And this is a tough one for the Grenadier, because you're on this island, but you are ever so slightly too far away from any other portion of land. So you kind of have to swim. But this could be a kill with the cluster bomb. It is indeed. And the Grenadier will drown. So Iron Fox is in no means out of this. But Herpderp's orderly is all alone. Not where he'd want him to be. In fact, he's in the weakest spot possible for an orderly, because there's no way that you can swim and make that. So instead he's going to look to hit the head of the sapper. You can just see it peeking. If he can get this, and that will go into the top 10 plays of the league here. Goes for it. Oh, gets the scout. It was a scout, not a sapper, but look at that shot. Unbelievable. Gets the trank. So even from that distance, he is deadly. And Iron Fox will also take some more damage from the water. Not too much, only 7. But immediately looks to heal up the scout, so that will be cancelled out. Even though it was a good shot, it means nothing in the long run. And that is a big advantage for Iron Fox. Having his orderly on the mainland means that he has free range with his tranquilizers. And the paratrooper, well, yeah, it's a tough one. He's very, very far away from the grenadier. So he could look to get a kill in this turn and then look to do something else, but he's not going to have enough time. But he does need to take away the grenadier as soon as possible, I think. Yeah, he's going to play it safe. Should have possibly looked to angle it down, but just gets it. And the grenadier will fall. So most of the heavy hitters are down now. There is still a sapper around. But the scout over here down to 67. He will just go for a simple snippety old sniper shot. So 40 damage potentially coming here. No, changing his mind. But goes with it anyway, so he will be nudged down to 75 health or so. And of course looking to position himself away from the water and gaining an extra turn on the sapper. And it is back to the full health scout, who got lucky, fairly lucky. So sniper rifles, healing hands, and TNTs are the primary things that Iron Fox currently holds, but he will go for the poison on the orderly, which in the long run will do him some good. But Herpderp does still have the heavy hitting heavy weapons. So does he go for a mortar? Does he look to try and nudge him in the water? Who knows? Who knows, because it's a tough one from this angle. Doesn't quite get the full damage, and he won't slip in the water either. But he's down to at least 20 or so health. And the sapper on 67. You get the feeling that if the orderly on Herpderp's team could gain access to the mainland, that this match would be a lot different, but unfortunately that is not to be. And the paratrooper is going to take a ton of damage here from the water. 105, but takes away 49 from the TNT. And the water damage as well. That could potentially be a kill or an extra turn gained. Down to 6 health, and well, very good use of the TNT there from Iron Fox. And yeah, you've got a feel for Herpderp's orderly. He's just too far away from anything to heal. He does have the grenade launcher, and the scout is there, but he is going for the sapper. But that will drop in the water a little bit too short. And you can feel Herpderp's confidence waning a little bit. I think here, like I said, you kind of got a feel for him when your pig is far away from the action, but you can't do anything. Meanwhile, your sapper is being slowly tranked by the orderly. He's losing turns everywhere. His gunner will lose another 40 health here at least. So he'll go down to 25. And like I said, the long game that I mentioned earlier from Iron Fox with the poison, I did call it a weakness that he had scouts on his team and not so much heavy hitters, but you can really see the weaknesses here for Herpderp, not having his orderly anywhere near the rest of his team. And yeah, it's just free range for Iron Fox here. He can just continue to deal damage and poison as well. Comfortable in the knowledge that Herpderp has his medical supply cut off But Herpderp will potentially get at least a kill here. I think he's going to look to kill himself as well, maybe. He does still have one more turn with the gunner, so he won't want to kill himself just yet. But one of the scouts goes down. And it's still everything to play for. But seeing as the paratrooper is dead, it's only really the sapper that remains as a threat. But it's 3 against 1. Everyone's surrounding the sapper here. And his health will go down even more. And the orderly on 115 in the corner, but look at that, down to 46 health. And the orderly still can't do anything other than use his grenade launcher. So angles it just right. Oh, bounces off the sapper though. And no damage dealt there either, so it will probably be another tranquilizer shot. And Iron Fox is sitting comfortable. As Jim Bob the Sapper goes down to 16 health, it's back to the Scout. And he'll be looking to take down the heavy weapons, I think. No! Yeah, maybe looking to gain himself another turn if he uses the knife. But goes against it and seems to turn his attention to the orderly instead. And that is a tough one. I think that might be something we can look at in future. Maybe over the next week or so, I might look at tweaking Skullduggery spawn positions. You can, if you plan ahead and you study the spawn locations of which pigs in your lineup spawn where on the map, you can sort of plan ahead and usually place a paratrooper over there. It does come in handy, of course, only having jetpacks. You really need them on this map if you're positioned and kind of stuck on the other side. But Herpderp dealing 50 damage, killing his own sapper, so he won't lose an extra turn. But he will lose his gunner, who is down to 5 health. So yeah, I think that's a viable solution at the moment. Just looking to move the spawn locations from that side, because they can feel a little bit unfair to the less experienced players, or, you know, just the players that have not as much time to practice and study. Because of course we have one match per week, and so it is, you know, constant games, constant matches all the time. And I feel that this match between Iron Fox and Herpderp is going to go to Iron Fox, as Herpderp looks to commit suicide here using the rifle burst. And he does indeed. So the orderly falls, the gunner will fall as well. Herpderp going out in glory, sacrificing himself. And Iron Fox will take the 3 points. We have stated before that Skullduggery is one of the better basic maps. And of course I will put it to the community as to whether or not it will be fair enough or a good idea to move the spawn locations. But nevertheless, I hope you guys have enjoyed this match. Iron Fox takes the 3 points, 2-1 in the end. A thrilling game between these two. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about this match in the comments. It was pretty crazy. And in the meantime, I'll catch you later for the next match.
This is a certified